So first things first, I'm going to prime my face using the NARS Pore and Shine Control Primer, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that and I'm just going to apply that all over my face, and this is going to help to mattify my skin, and so it doesn't produce as much oil, and it's going to fill in my, not necessarily my pores, but even out any unevenness in my skin and create a smoother surface for the foundation to apply. Next, I'm just going to take some foundation, and I was actually just playing with some foundation earlier, and I was actually refilling my bottle, and I made a hot mess on my hands. So I'm just going to take the Access product that was spilling out of the bottle. I was combining two foundations together because one was empty and one was half full. So one was almost empty and one was half full. So I was just like moving over one product to the other, and I made a mess. And so I'm just going to take some of that product and I'm just going to start dotting it all over my face. And this is the Born This Way foundation in shade Natural Beige. This is a little bit more neutral toned and it does have a lot of golden in it. And this is the closest shade to my shade. And I'm going to take that and put it on my neck as well. I'm honestly just trying to take off all this foundation from my hand. And as y'all can tell, I put a lot more on my cheeks than I did on my forehead. My forehead doesn't have any blemishes for the most part, so I don't need as much product up there as I do on my cheeks where I do have my acne scars. And next, I'm just taking a Tarte foundation brush and I'm just going to start stippling that in and carrying that product over to the other side and bringing it down my neck so that everything is nice and even and there's no different discolorations of skin tone. And next, I'm just going to blend that out on my forehead. Now in person, this foundation looks exactly like my skin tone, but on camera, because it does have light reflecting properties, it is going to look slightly paler than my skin. But if you can tell, my face and my chest are the same color now. My chest is actually lighter than my face, so I always try to go a shade in between my chest and my face and kind of just even that out. So as y'all can tell, I am now all one skin tone. Moving on from this, if you have perfect skin, you might not need as much product as I use. You might actually just dot your face a couple times and blend that out and you're good to go. In my case, I have a lot of hyperpigmentation, I have a lot of acne scars that I really need to cover up, and I don't like to use concealer because I feel like concealer is too heavy for a natural look. From here, I'm actually just going to move on to powders. So for powder, you can honestly use any type of powder. You can use something like the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder. This is a translucent powder and it's not gonna add any color, it's not gonna add any coverage to your skin, it's just gonna set your foundation. Or you can use something more conventional like a powder foundation. So this is gonna actually give you color, it's gonna give you a little bit more coverage, and it's going to set your makeup. It's gonna obviously add more coverage, but it's not going to be translucent, so there is going to be some color. So you always want to make sure that your powder foundation is the same shade as your foundation because you don't want this to be darker or you don't want it to be lighter. However, if you want to get a little advanced, if your foundation is too light, you can go in with a darker powder and it'll kind of adjust that. Next, please, and honestly, I think I'm going to go with the IT Cosmetics Fluffy Brush just because I feel like that will give me the least coverage. Now, if you do want a lot of coverage, you would want to use something with smaller bristles like this. This is a more condensed brush as opposed to this. And this is actually so condensed that this will actually add a lot more coverage. But because I feel like the foundation already gave me sufficient coverage, I'm actually just going to take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to dust it on a little bit, tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to pat that on my T-zone. And this is going to set my foundation. I don't want to add too much coverage. This powder is actually a little bit darker than I am, so it's perfect because sometimes the foundation is too light. And that basically concludes the foundation aspect of this. Moving on, I'm actually going to do my brows next. So, brows. Okay, so as far as brows, I kind of go different approach to this. I always do something different. So lately for my man brows, when I want to do a little bit more natural, I'll actually go in with some brow gel, and this is the Anastasia brow gel. This is just a clear brow gel. I'm actually going to take that and I'm just going to apply that to my brows. And I'm actually going to move this in the opposite direction so that my brows are standing up straight right here. And then I'm just going to brush this out And this is actually, if it has any foundation on your brows, this will actually wet it, so it'll take off the residue, because sometimes your brows can get a little bit chalky from the powder or from the foundation, and this will actually just remove that. Okay, so as y'all can see, it kind of defined my brow shape. And this is just a clear brow gel. This doesn't have any pigmentation. If you do want to go in and add some color, you can go in with a tinted brow gel. If you have lighter brows, a tinted brow gel will actually darken them if you go with a darker color. In my case, my brow hairs are actually like a medium or like a brown, like a neutral brown, so they already have some color to it, and going in with a brow gel will actually not really do anything to my brows. So as y'all can see, I'm going in with a tinted brow gel. This is the Brow Quickie from Too Faced, and it's honestly not going to do anything. Or maybe it did. It kind of darkened them just a little bit. If you have really good brows, this will probably complete the look for you. In my case, my brows are so sparse that I actually go in with a brow pencil now, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer, and I'm actually going to go in with this. And first I'm going to outline the bottom section of my brow. I don't want to get too close to the inner corner because that'll make it too dramatic. I'm actually going to start off somewhere in the middle, maybe 3/4 of the way outwards. And so let me just go ahead and start that, and y'all can see. So I like to start about right here, and I'm just gonna trace where I want my brow to go. Do y'all see how that's a little bit more dramatic? That's typically the brow that I like, just because they're so sparse that you can barely tell that I even have brows. Like I said, I have very sparse brows. If you don't have sparse brows, then you probably can just skip this step. And next, I'm just gonna fill them in by using hair-like strokes like so to kind of blend out that color. And next, I'm tracing a line on the top part. And next, I'm going to do the same to the other eye. So that concludes the brow aspects of this tutorial. Obviously, these brows are not Instagram-worthy brows. These are not your going out type brows. These are very demure. Obviously, I have not gotten my brows waxed in a hot second, so if the shape is a little off, I'm working with what I got. I'm probably going to go get my brows done when I get my paycheck on Friday. So next, I'm going to go in with a bronzer, because so I have two options. Typically, I reach for the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. Normally, it comes in a more golden packaging such as this, but I have it in that little kit. So today I'm actually switching it up, and this was actually my very first bronzing powder, and it's actually from Bobbi Brown. I'm gonna take a bronzing brush. I'm actually gonna go in with my Marc Jacobs bronzing brush. This is a big fat brush, and I'm actually just gonna tap, 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 and then I'm just gonna go into my skin where I would typically bronze. So it would be like the apples of my cheeks going out, and you can already see the color, almost like a light contour. And again, on this side, you would apply this how you would apply blush. So on where the light would hit you, so where the sun would hit you if you were at the beach, that's where you would apply bronzer. And then I'm gonna apply some on my forehead, just because I feel like my forehead, I have a widow's peak, so I try to kind of contour that out right here. And it's genetic, like my mom has it too. Like, she has a full set of hair. So does my dad, but widow's peak, so like, who knows? And I'm just gonna apply that to my jaw so that I can, you know, look a little slimmer. And that basically concludes the bronzer aspect. Then I do, and if you want to highlight without looking like overly highlighted, like Instagram highlight, you just want like a natural highlight, I highly suggest the Matte Radiance Baked Powder Highlight 01 from Laura Mercier. This is a mattifying baked highlight. And what I love about this is that it is such a subtle highlight, and I'm just going to take a highlighting brush, and I'm going to take some, and I'm just going to apply some right on my cheekbone. And it's going to give me a very natural highlight that's not too much. It's very mattifying, so it's not going to give like an overall, it's not going to give like a highlight, like a beaming, like I can see you from outer space kind of highlight. This is going to give you a very natural radiance. It's gonna give you a nice sheen to your skin without looking overdone. And I'm just gonna take some on the bridge of my nose, top of my lip, a little bit underneath my eyebrow, and I'm good to go. Next, if you did get some foundation on your lips, you kind of just want to take a makeup wipe and you kind of just want to, you know, take off any residue that might be on your lips. And last but not least, I'm gonna end the look with my Fresh Sugar Nourishing Lip Balm Advanced Therapy. This is a very hydrating lip balm, and I love this because it actually has hyaluronic acid, which is great for plumping. Ooh, and last step, I almost forgot, guys. Oh my god. I'm actually gonna take a big fluffy crease brush and I'm gonna go into my bronzer, and I'm actually going to apply this to the crease of my eyelids because I feel like they lack some dimension, and I'm just gonna apply it right here. And same to the other side. Not too much. This is a very subtle attempt at cutting my crease. This is just to give my eye dimension because I have such small eyelids. I have like hooded eyes, so this just gives me a more wide awake effect. And next I'm going to take that same clear brown mascara and I'm just going to apply that to my eyelashes to take off any residue from the powder, any residue from the foundation that might be on them. And this is just going to take that off, and I'm just very gently applying that. I'm not trying to add any color. I'm not trying to do anything that's too much with my eyelashes. And I'm just going to take that to my bottom lashes as well. And there you have it, guys. This is my natural makeup look. This is what I typically wear if I'm not doing too much. It's just very light bronzing. Your skin looks fresh. Your lips look poppin'. Your brows. And that's pretty much it. This is a very natural look. Yeah, I just look very fresh-faced. And my skin looks very natural, and this is what I typically wear on a off day, or if I'm just posting like selfies on Instagram, my Snapchat story. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to me on my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you subscribe to me on Snapchat and Instagram to see any other looks that I'm doing and keep up with me on social media. Let me know what your favorite natural brow look products are down below in the description if you are watching this. I'm curious. And until next time, guys, DGAFpanda out.